Welcome to another APL Spotlight Series show. It's an offshoot of the Angels Positivity and Love show. We just have incredible guests from 25 plus countries, wisdom. They're sharing their high vibe and their experiences. Lots of love, lots of fun. Make sure you stick around to the end of these shows. We've got, I think, 250 plus taped on the main show. I think we're up to 192 that are out as of mid-April. But
Wow.
guests take steps with angels and they smell sage through two screens, and you can do the same. You can have a lot of fun. You can just feel the vibe, and that's why sticking around to the end is so helpful. Comment, share, like, subscribe. Today we've got a guest who's coming back, even though you might not have seen her main show just yet. Sierra Bender out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. She's been there and done that for so many things. She's helped millions of women and others too, for many years. She's an advocate on a bunch of issues and fronts. Empowerment of women would be one, but I'm going to just go straight to the jugular here. She's fierce like an Amazonian goddess. She's super intuitive. She's a healer, whether she knows it or not. She's a best-selling author. She's taught a lot of different stuff, whether it's at Omega Institute, Kripalu, or Kripalu, whichever way it's said, and other places. So she's done a lot of retreats and workshops around the world. She's touched a lot of lives. But as with all of us, growth and expansion never stop. And so she's been going through a lot of fun stuff and expanding so that she can better serve us all. And so I'd like to welcome her back. Sierra, it is always fabulous to see you. I always get excited.
You too, Mike. Wow, that was quite the intro. Yes, thank you. It's always a great connection. It's like, bam.
Exactly. And you used to be from the tri-state area, so you don't beat around the bush. When you get into
No.
a particular topic, you tell it like it is. I'd like to have you describe for us a little. You've certainly experienced a lot of success through the years with what you
Mhm.
were doing. What do you think's most important in the big picture in life for all of us, all those people watching right now? What do you think people should try to remember if they could remember when they remember?
Ooh, that's a deep question. We're not here to suffer, um, to get out of the way. And I have to keep reminding myself that because as we were discussing, I come from the tri-state area, so we're so taught to push and do and go, and it's such a hard lesson to learn and to reprogram that. And because it's, I always say I run my business with my mind, but what I do is with my heart. So it's always that fine balance when you're in the spiritual and the physical. Like, how do we keep that alignment? And it's hard. It's truly hard. Isn't even if you know it, you get in your own way. And I'm really starting to see that, as I get older. I'm tired of being the warrior. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of pushing. I had to do that when I was younger, but now that I'm older, it's more sit back and receive. Okay, what does that feel like? You know, what does that look like? Total surrender. I mean, I know how to surrender, when to surrender, but this is on a whole nother level and everything is falling. All the success, everything that I've done is just flatlined. It's like, no, you're not doing this any longer. It's actually hurting you. Actually, it's stopping your growth spiritually because you're good at it. But that's not where we want you to go. So it's this push and pull constantly like, well, wait a minute. I kind of like this over here. No, you don't. You're just doing it because it's safe. I'm like, damn. You hear those little voices in your head. So it's always nice to do this with you because it's like you need somebody else too to kick your butt. You need somebody else to, and it's hard when you're in this business. It's like, well, who's doing that for you? So thank you.
There, and you're welcome. There are about 5 to 7 guests, I'd say, in the last year, year and a half that have had that sort of message come in. Doesn't mean they don't have a fabulous book of business, but they've just been told, hey, left-hand turn here. We're going to go into a new direction. And some people have put up a little bit of a resistance and they've gotten clobbered and then they've had to recalibrate and open up again. Others have embraced it and said, it is time. I've got to do more. And I'd like to just quote or cite a scene out of that gymnastics movie. Most people think it's a sports movie, Peaceful Warrior, Dan Millman with Nick Nolte
Yeah.
in it, Scott Meklowitz. There's a scene at the gas station where the Mr. Miyagi figure, who's I would argue is an angel named Herb, but he is sitting there doing windshields. Customer pulls up, orders gas, and he's the station attendant, service attendant. And it's all about service to others. But they're talking about doing the windshield. And he says something about knowing is not the same as wisdom. Wisdom's doing it. And I thought that was one of the best scenes ever. And you can just see that on YouTube if you Google Peaceful Warrior.
Yes,
And
I
the
met
bush.
him from Omega,
Yeah.
back to back.
So let's talk about that a little bit. What are you doing during the day that you know is getting you grounded, getting you connected to all, getting you here, and helping you stay open? What are you doing during the day?
I'm more, how do I say, disciplined in my prayer. I'm more disciplined in protecting my energy. In the way of like not blocking, but like, okay, your energy is your biggest asset right now because you're expanding, and I'm isolating, like not isolating on purpose, but it's like, wow, I'm really starting to notice how much I've given my energy so freely, and I can't do that now, especially as an elder. You know, I'm going into my elder years now. I'm 60 going on 61. And it's like, you can't be on the trauma trenches anymore like you were with all these women, pulling them out and helping them be that goddess warrior. Like, what is your word? Stand up, ba, 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 you know, the whole New York kind of vibe, and always my vibe. I know when to be compassionate, but I also know when to speak truth. And that is my compassion. Come on, you're better than this, you know? But now it's more, the message is different. It's more the freedom. It's like our freedom is being able to, is the feminine. It's stop fighting and just rise. Stop. And the words that kept coming in were lead, love, and leave. I'm like, oh, so lead doing what you love, and lead what makes you happy as a woman, because we're so taught to give that out so freely. So lead, because everyone around you benefits from your love. It's not just an emotion, it's the most powerful force grounded by action, responsibility, right? So that's what God said to me when I passed over. I was like, wow, that's huge. Instead of the codependency. And then it was love what you do. So when you love what you do, and you're coming from that place of an intelligence of love, you are the queen bee. So it's the queen bee effect. Everyone wants to be around your energy, but you have to understand what it's worth, because for a woman, how do we put value to what we give or what we have? So it's more or less, you have to set those really strong boundaries, because your energy equals time, and time equals money in the practical. So it's this reprogramming of women, including myself, right? And then it's, so it's lead, love, and leave. We have to leave behind what no longer works for us. We have to leave behind the pain, the suffering, the stories that keeps us trapped. And so, and we also have to leave behind those who don't want to rise. And sometimes, as I was always told, we have to give up the things we love the most. And then spirit shows you, was it really love? No, it wasn't. It was what you were conditioned to think what love is. So I have to prune you, let go. It's painful, but then that's where the lessons come from. And then that's the expansion and the freedom. Is that really love? Or is it, again, something that we were conditioned to think what love is? So huge, right? So it's like, wow. So it's that responsibility again of loving you and being of service that way. Just your presence is enough. Not just for women, men too, but you know, this is a huge lesson that women have to learn. And I see it in everything that I'm teaching and in society. It's like it's not blaming men. It's not about men. You know, it's not about blaming anyone. It's just look at it and rise. And how do you play victim to it? Be responsible.
Uplifting others. You've already been doing it for a long time, but there just might be a little shift happening, and you'll be doing it in a slightly or greatly varied way in the future. Before we get to what that may look like, or bringing in angels, blowing some sage through two screens, take us through a little bit of your near-death experience. I know you probably touched on that in your main show that I believe is still coming out shortly, but this June, I think it is. Take us through the NDE and what happened.
Well, I was 4 months pregnant. It was misdiagnosed. So I had a very rare tubular pregnancy. So it was where the tube and the uterus met. So the baby had enough room to grow. And so my sonogram was never read. And on Christmas Eve, my uterus ruptured. And I knew intuitively something was wrong. And I kept telling the doctors, and, they weren't listening. And, oh, if you're a pregnant woman, you're constipated, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, no, something's off. And my dog, being such an intuitive, wouldn't even come near me. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because I had a great relationship with my dog. But I just knew something was off. But I also knew I did not like being pregnant. I knew this was not who I was or where I'm supposed to be going. And I knew that at 7 years old. So this actually saved my life in the way of when my uterus ruptured, so I bled to death. And it was a horrific experience. My will was so strong that it was, and even God said that to me, that your will is so strong. And even the doctors is that's what's kept you alive. But then I couldn't will it any longer. And the more that I surrendered to letting go, the more download I had of information of who I was, why I was here, what my past lives were. The main message that I received was God said, love is not just an emotion. It is the most powerful force grounded by action and responsibility. Sierra, where you're not loving you, this is not who you are. This is what you were conditioned to be and do. And you are so far out of alignment. That's what it felt like, a radio station. Like, you are so off alignment to who you are and what you are and why you're here. Let us remind you. And of course, me needs a 2x4 over the head. So it had to be something that abrupt for me to pay attention, even though I kind of knew it and felt it. We're so, especially coming from trauma as a child, you're so used to survival and turn that off. So it actually saved my life, and I was really happy about it. And everyone, the doctors were like, okay, something's wrong with her. Like, why isn't she so distraught? And I felt Christ come, and I had this, I'll never forget, I had this whole conversation. It was all very intuitive, and Christ is sitting at the edge of my bed. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. Is this real or not real? Because you don't know what dimension. I didn't know what dimension I was in, but the more I surrendered to it, the more I just felt this unbelievable energy of love. I mean, it is love. It's not just an emotion. It was this amazing force that was moving through every cell of my being, like champagne bubbles, and realigning every part of my being to say, this is who you are. This is why you're here. This is what it's supposed to feel like. You've never had this feeling before. And then I was asked 4 questions, which became my book. So the first question was, spiritually, when and why did you disconnect from the source of my love? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I used to talk to you all the time, God. How did you make these animals? How the planet? You're so curious. And then from abuse, I stopped asking questions. I stopped talking. And then mentally, what were the belief systems from your religion, your culture, your family that took you further away from the source of my love? Oh, I remember. So it was right there up front, because we keep running around it. The ego doesn't really want to face the truth. And it was right there. And I'm like, oh, I remember, like I'm watching a video camera of myself, right? I remember the first day of confession when the priest told me I didn't know how to speak to God. And I'm like, well, if God is everywhere and everything, what do I need you for? Jersey girl, voice, truth. So I got into trouble. And then emotionally, why do you continually punish yourself? Why do you continually hurt yourself with drugs, alcohol, bad relationships? I always knew my limitation, but it was like, how do I numb out this pain, right? Because I don't feel worthy of good things. And I was like, wow, yeah, okay. Like, that is true. Eating disorders, things that I see with all women. And then physically, why do you consistently resist my love? Why do you keep attracting the same actors and actresses that tell you you're not worthy? I was like, shit, excuse my language, but I was like, that's just too clear that my ego can't deny it. So it was almost like my spiritual self and my ego self, because we have a separation there, became one at one, like, okay, you're Sierra, this is who you are, this is your personality, this is why you're here, this is what we love about you, this is what you love about you. Don't go off out of alignment any longer. And if you do, we're going to give you the 2x4 over the head. And so that's, I have humor about it. It's like, get back in alignment, because I know. So it was interesting when my family members came in, I was like, I understood forgiveness, because Creator also said to me, God also, Christ said to me, are you more angry what happened to you? Or are you more angry that they still have that much control over your mind, your emotions, and your future? My healthy Jersey girl ego is like, oh, hell no. You're not going to have that power over me. So my ego and my higher self worked together. They weren't working against each other. And that feeling and that power is so profound that I was like a lightning bolt. And now I'm going through it again. It's another birthing. It's another death, a shaman's death. And that's how I feel. It's another death. And I'm like, oh, can I just please surrender again? Can I just feel that all over again?
Can we,
And
can we talk about the past year? Is there an experience you want to share at the top of a mountain, something happened?
oh God, I have a bunch of those, but an awakening, you mean?
Yeah, or the big one, or a reminder from the universe to slow down and realign all over again.
Well, I just had brain surgery. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, through my whole life, I've always been the warrior, through past lives, through everything, always fighting and an advocate. And I was like, okay. So when I asked the pain, because no one could figure out where it came from, was I born with it? Where did this come from? I was on the mountain in Machu Picchu at the base camp, and all of a sudden I felt this click. I was chewing cocoa leaves and we were doing a prayer tobacco. And all of a sudden I felt this click and I was like, what is this? And I just couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything because it's nerve pain in your face. It's the trigeminal. Who knows? It's a freak thing. So I thought maybe you're saving my life by not climbing 16,000 feet. Maybe this is a way of saying, because of my will, again, okay, here's the 2x4. You're not listening. You're going to have a stroke or a heart attack. Even though you're in great shape, you're not in control. So we're going to stop you. And that's how I kind of felt that one moment. The second thing too is I wasn't listening, which I knew because I was doing what I was good at instead of listening, because I was told, stop doing what you're doing because you will have a stroke. And I'm like, my ego, how can I have a stroke? I'm in great shape, blah, blah, blah. And an elder told me, and I wasn't listening. And so I pushed myself. And then this happened. And when I really went into the pain and asked it, what is this about? Because your body has its own intelligence, which I teach and stuff. I couldn't see it at first. It was like fine-tuning the radio station again. And it was like, bam, right? It was like, you can't keep doing what you're doing in the trauma trenches with all these women. You have done this for over 30 years. It's like decay on your teeth. You can't handle this physically any longer. It is so much sadness and so much pain of what women have gone through. I took it on. I took on too much. And not knowing. And then it was like, okay, we're going to stop you in your tracks. And then not only that, it was my father was murdered the same year. Like, so I know spirit's going, we're freeing you from all trauma, from your past, from your work. Like, you can't, you're done with these vows, these lives. You're done. You've paid your dues. Okay. So now it's time for joy. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that look like?
Well, let's show what it looks like. We're going to blow some sage. I'm going to put Joy up, but I'm going to
But
ask.
I haven't had joy, but like, what is this all about? It's like fine tuning it again.
So people know we were playing with angels, hanging out with angels before we tape this. That'll be cut out. You'll have a proper intro. But the point is, I'm going to blow some sage, catch sage through two screens, let it be a little reset. And then you don't have to share anything personal, but in a way, what you're going through is what we all have to go through, sometimes multiple times in a decade.
Oh yeah.
You can phrase everything. We can have angels present a way to phrase it that you can pass along to the audience in a little bit. We'll blow sage first, though. Anybody can catch a little bit of sage. You just have to be in your heart. Your heart knows how to do the
Mhm.
smelling incense without smelling incense, the Zen thing. It's
Mhm.
being at one with everything and paying attention. And here's the sage. Some people start catching it as I light it or taste it. You can actually smell sage, the aroma. Let angels, the universe bring it to you, whatever your words are. If you don't mind addressing angels, though, it's the one thing I think I know in 13 years. It's ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart and make it nice. Amen, rock and roll. Thank you, Om Saram, whatever way you need to own it. Crate and barrel tea light in there that's blue inside one of those rainbow shells. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
Are you getting the sage A-OK in Santa Fe?
Uh-huh.
I
Oh,
didn't do it. Blame angels.
surrounded by it here.
And ask for something extra. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be light all over the room, a ripple up and down your back. It could be flowers in the air, ocean. What are you getting that's extra?
Hmm. My sense is awakening even deeper.
Ooh, good. Good answer. And if people at home, if you need more videos, I think there's 1,000 videos on the channel. Sorry about that. But you'll find people put comments in saying, hey, I smelled the sage, or I smelled flowers, or perfume, or whatever, or did something with angels. You can do it all. You have no limits. Good luck believing it. If you listen to the brain, no way, Jose. But the rest of you kind of has been doing it your whole life. Sports, when you did 4 soccer goals in a row, even if it was in 4th grade or 4th form, whatever, the point is you let go and you just flowed. So that's all it is. And you're going to get to witness Sierra doing it because she's a professional flower, or we could just say flower. Okay, here we go. Here's Joy. What does she have as a reminder for us all? That also is, the t-shirt you're wearing tomorrow.
Are you asking me to say it?
Yeah. What can she share with you that you can share out loud with everybody else? What is she saying we all need to keep in mind?
Oh, we all need to keep in mind. The first thing that just keeps coming to me is just smile at your heart.
I love it. And she's keeping it simple. Charlotte's next. Leave your eyes on Charlotte. Let her do her job. She'll pipe up with something amazing. What are you getting from Charlotte that's, again, a reminder for us all?
Uh, Limitless. The universe is limitless. Just ask.
We're going to do the big J, but I'm going to go for that. I can never remember if she's Latvian, Estonian. Heaven is for real painting that's so famous. And it's a beautiful one of Jesus. Give me one more second. Of course, I went right by it. Here we go. The big J. And if you don't mind getting a big hug from him while you're getting it, and just say you got your hug.
I
What's
see.
his reminder for us all?
Oh, forgiveness. Self-forgiveness and just forgiveness.
I love it. I'll put up the classic picture of Mary. If you're from Ireland, you have to have it that way, but I'll do a modern one right after that. People who have to have the old version, there she is. Lock it in, hit pause right now or come back. But I'll do a modern version because it's more fun. She's got sparkly eyes. It's a historical photo I borrowed from an actress who's abroad. And the point is, sparkly eyes. A photograph shouldn't be able to move, but this one does. You get a more of a smile, sparkly eyes. If you want to go crazy, get rainbow glitter all around your room.
Mhm.
And are you feeling it?
Yeah, grace. Just pure grace. It'll melt away anything.
Okay, and one last angel for you. It's going to be Archangel Michael. Got to find him here in a stack of photographs.
My man.
And it might be Gabriel if I can't find Michael quickly. I found Gabriel. Nope, here he is. Okay. And if anybody's still thinking too much, exhale like a whale, or just throw your fingers around like you're splashing finger paint everywhere and you don't care. Here's Michael. He's got a humdinger. Let's make up a phrase that I haven't said my whole life. He's got a big one to remind us on. What is that big reminder?
Mm. Oh, well, he's always there for protection, but protection from what? So for me, Michelangelo's huge, but is also defining protection. If we're too like this, we don't let the good stuff come in. So it's this balance of protecting,
Like
asking.
avoiding rigidity and allowing more.
Mhm.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, it's like I'm always here to protect you. I always got your back, but you don't have to do this all the time thinking you have to protect. You're cutting yourself off from the good things that are coming in also. So let me do my job. I got you. I got your back. Don't be lazy about it, but know the difference between walls and closing your heart off and keeping it open.
Okay, I've got a list of the terms that kind of is the center of spirituality. I'm going to read a bunch of words out loud. A lot of them start with the letter A, but which one or two terms jump out at you that you want to talk about? Here it is. There's probably like 13 or 14 of these. Acceptance, acknowledging, attention, allowing, attitude, awareness, abundance, angels, positivity and love, kindness, compassion, appreciation, and gratitude. Which one jumped out at you the most?
Gratitude and acceptance.
Now, why?
Why? Acceptance because I can't control.
You wish you could, but
Yes, I
that's the
can.
New Yorker tri-state area person.
Yeah, just accept what it is. Everything changes in a split second. So just go with it, go with the flow. And then gratitude for me was a big one too of stop being in the future, see what's in front of you and be grateful for it because it could always be worse. And again, it's just temporary.
I like how you put that. Certainly. Here's Gabriel, and I'll put up a picture of four archangels in just a second next. But let's tee up an exercise here. Here's Gabriel. Just what do you think? What's he say the topic should be in about 5 minutes on the show?
He is the for me, he's business. He gives me the clarity of where I need to go, what I need to do, and stay in alignment with the true intention and depth of what you're here to do.
And does he have a topic we can touch upon in just a little bit in a couple minutes?
Business.
Okay.
What is it really?
Is the business, any business is really an extension of one's self. Here's four archangels. Feel some energy come in. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, just a different light energy format. And get a little zinger and take us somewhere on how everything is interconnected. We just might not know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing that I always have to tap into. When I think of the people may think of the abyss as the darkness. It's not. It's where all potential limitlessness is. So when I go there into the big black hole or whatever you want to call it, whether it's above or below. So I look at the abyss as I can go below, like a whale going into the deepest part of the ocean, which we can't even fathom, and then come around full circle into the consciousness of the stars. It's not dark. It's where it's like downloading a computer where my mind is, where my heart is, and say, okay, I'm going to start pulling these pieces together. So, for instance, okay, I desire a horse. Okay, well, that's just too broad. Well, what kind of horse? Well, do you want a quarter horse? Do you want a warm blood? Do you want well, how old do you want this horse? How trained do you want this horse? What color do you want this horse? Where are you going to get this horse? How much, so those are like the questions that go through my mind. And the clearer I can answer my desires to the universe, the faster I can download it and manifest it. And then, of course, you got to let it go, because then the universe may give you something bigger. But you have to, I always say you have to meet spirit universe 50% of the way. When I meet the universe spirit 50% of the way, I can manifest through my senses like that. But now I'm having a hard time. So I'm like, okay, what's this about?
Okay, I'm going to put up Charlotte, another angel, just hear from her. It's a generic response that applies to everybody watching. It applies to me. It applies to you. What is the biggest method we can use, or how can we get out of our own way? And what's her answer?
Charlotte's answer?
Yep.
Yeah. Redefine what surrender is. Surrender is not giving up. It's letting go of what's no longer of service. But our ego wants to hold on because it's comfortable. So know how to surrender, when to surrender, so you don't suffer as much.
Totally, like that kind of took my breath away, because that was said so succinctly or with such clarity. It was amazing. I have
it, but
yeah, good luck putting it into practice. We all would sign the contract right there.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds really good, Sierra. I just channeled it, and I know it. And then it's like, okay, now let's bring it into the next level. The most dense, the physical.
I can see t-shirts with the word clarity on it. I'm going to sneak in an angel named Claire, who is clarity, but she's more resilience, and she's bright purple. And she's a sweetie. She's one of my dog's guardian angels. If anybody sees the black Labradoodle go by, that's my dog's guardian angel. Here's Claire. Get something very lighthearted from her as a simple reminder to keep it easy for us all. What is Claire saying?
I just saw a little girl in her room all painted purple. Like, it just brings me so much joy, to see this beautiful lavender. I can smell it, taste it, feel it. Like, I just want to be in it, I don't know. That's what reminds me, childhood stuff, like childhood joy, like the simplest things that bring you joy.
Uncontained joy. I got a dolphin for you that represents dolphin consciousness. Now, you don't have to be in the water with squeaking dolphins to tap into dolphin consciousness. In fact, you're in Santa Fe, so there's not really an ocean right there, but it doesn't matter. You can have a vortex of wonderful dolphins all around you.
I used to live in Florida. They used to be around me all the time. I used to call them. They'd come.
And they have a giant reminder too, and it's simple. What are they saying? Feel a lot of love come in, a lot of consciousness.
Breathe. Manu manu, breath, breathe. It's kind of like when there's the lightness of the ocean, like holding you, like when a dolphin swims too, it's like just floating, letting it hold you, the water. So when we breathe, that's kind of how like spirit holds us, like a dolphin.
I like that. Okay, what's something you didn't know you were going to talk about, but you're just about seconds away from telling us? What's one thing you want to share that you didn't know you were going to share?
That I didn't know I was going to share?
Yep.
Something personal, or are you talking about in general?
Just
anything
in general, to help people, again, pick themselves up a little, dust off, and maybe walk that smoother path. You've been doing it forever a certain way, but now you're paying even more attention. And so what's coming to mind, or more importantly, what's coming to heart?
Well, there's always the balance with me. The warrior says, wake the fuck up and goddess up, meaning claim your space, use your voice, and assert your rights, because it is your birthright. Okay, so snap out of it and stop being a victim of life and start participating. And then the compassionate side of me says that you are so worthy of this, that you have suffered for so long, you don't know what it's like to be free outside of it. And it's safe. It's okay. It's actually, how do I say this? It's actually, hold on. It's actually who you were born to be, what you were here for, and celebrate in that, and stop punishing yourself.
Not that I ever try to cough up what I was hearing or feeling at the same time. I never do that, ever, almost. But I was getting it's already there. Like just pull up the blinds and enjoy. Like it's just here now. So wonderful.
Very well said.
Um,
Yeah, just rise, like just rise. Let the light in, like you're saying, like it's here. Yeah.
And speaking of light, I'll show some light using this as a background. Blue Sky is number one. It's going to be out of Celestine Prophecy, the movie, but as Sue Frederick, I always mention her as a guest on the show, I think last year. She said, hey, in the 70s, we were already doing it this way before the movie existed. In India, they do it this way. You'll see a little bit of light between my fingers. Just say whatever color it is, but then we're going to go big, and it's go home, go big. You're already home, go big. Let angels come in and make more out of that light. First, we'll just see some couple of colors, white, gold, green, yellow, who knows what it'll be. But I get to tell a dad joke. That's the most important part of this. And this is one that's a horrendous dad joke, but it is fun. What's the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. And then just see a little wisp of light. Sierra, what are you seeing between my fingers?
I see yellow and blue.
Perfect. And now let Joy and Michael and everybody Mary come in and do bigger. You might get a butterfly. You might get vortices of light. What are you getting now?
Purple,
Yay.
white, gold, uh, just every creature you can think of on the planet. Two-legged, four-legged, winged, finned, gilled, slithering. How
Yeah.
every color is the rainbow reflecting.
And I'm going to sit back down, but people have gotten phoenixes. One person got a running buffalo, or that was in their hands. I can't remember. But the point is, like, play it over again. Please put a comment in. And if you're shy, you don't have to say you smelled sage. Just do a little fire symbol or do a happy face. No one's going to know. But when you put an emoji down, you're liberating someone else because they're being shy. So start a little
Yeah,
chain
because it's
reaction.
not your imagination. It's how spirit's talking to you. It's not right or wrong.
And we're going to do one final interactive thing today, but I don't know exactly what it is. I'll put my hands up, I'll whoosh your way, but Joy and Charlotte will give some definition to it. You can keep it to yourself or you can say it out loud. They'll tell you what we're whooshing, obviously love, but I'll whoosh you some energy your way, but they'll add some more definition to it. And just say got it from them. So as long as you know what's going on, that's the most important thing.
I
Out of
got
it
it.
all will be a reminder, though, for the audience. So here's Joy and Charlotte. I'm going to just look like I'm hitting a ping pong ball to you. And I'm going to blow a little. My microphone's up top today. I'm going to blow Hawaii your way. It's going to look goofy. It's okay. You've done this before with me. You're going to feel lots of love and light. Blame Joy, blame Charlotte, blame Angels, blame Michael. And it's going to be fun. Here it comes.
I
At
need
home,
it.
at
Hit it
home just
hard,
say
Michael.
stop
Hit
it.
it hard.
Exactly. Here we go. And Sierra, can you help people understand what did you just get whooshed with? What did you feel? What was it like?
Well, before you even started, the word that came in was attitude. Attitude. It's all about your attitude. So it was like, wow, okay. Because one of the main words we hear is intention. Okay, but it's attitude is more embodiment. Like, how are you looking at something, and then how are you putting it into action is attitude, right? as they say, fake it till you make it or whatever. So it's the energy that you are actually projecting.
And in flying with airplanes, attitude is everything. You don't have a good attitude, you're hitting the mountainside. You got to have a good attitude.
Yeah. And that's something internal, right? It has an internal adjustment, but then it has an external presence. And that's where we attract or repel people too, right? So intention to me is more mind. And I always felt there's something missing with that one, right? Because it does nothing unless you put it into effect. So attitude. I don't know. That's the word that came up. Redefine.
I have two more loving figures for you, and then we'll start to wrap it up, have you close this out. But two graces, a grace who's the angel who's Grace, duh, she's well named, and she's rainbow light. I don't have a photo. We don't need a photo for that. You can just close your eyes and have her start to come in, and you should get a lot of, we'll call it tingliness. And anybody who needs extra help, breathe through the mouth. That's my unofficial rule. But the only rule I've got is, hey, angels, Grace, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, the whole crew, sock it to me, make it nice. Amen, rock and roll, thank you. Set your intent, say it out loud. And now let Grace come in. You might get rainbow light on the eyelids. You might just feel tingles all over. She'll have a little reminder for us all as you come out of it.
Okay.
And what are you getting from Grace to all of us?
Well, to me, grace can melt anything, any fear, any pain. It just kind of softly just brings everything into alignment in such a surrendering, loving way. And I always visualize Mary with her blue cloak when I need help like that, or the grace that she has, like just engulf me with your hug me, with that. And that's to me what grace is like, I need help. I need help to surrender. I need help to let go of this pain. I don't want to suffer. So just give me that hug. And you can literally feel it when you ask for it, just how your body just starts to surrender to it. And that's what she always reminds me of, and how that softness is so powerful. So powerful.
And I should probably mention there's a hope, a faith, a harmony. I've got a photo of Harmony, but Harmony chose tranquility, by the way, for her photograph, but she's Harmony, she's tranquility, she's chill. That's supposed to be rainbow light. There's a hope, a faith. Faith is yellow, hope is peach colored. And there's a bunch of others in that little cabal, joy in there and stuff like that. But I've got a Grace who's a light being. If angels are like dolphins, then light beings are like whales. And I didn't know until last year, a light being can come down and show up as a human as well on a city street, New York City, and you bump into them, you get to say a quick hello, and they're not going to be like light everywhere. So Grace, this other Grace, is enthusiasm. She's orange light. For this one, if you don't mind putting your hands out or doing something unusual with your body, like just, opening up a little extra, close your eyes, breathe more through the mouth. I'm not looking your way. Don't worry, you got a whole audience watching you. But let Grace, the light being, come in. She's orange light. She's enthusiasm. And the only way I know how to describe her is she's big. She's like a female version of the Silver Surfer, but orange glinty colored, and lots of fun, lots of zest.
Yeah, let the magic happen. That's the first thing that came. It's like, I'm the magic.
I love that. Okay. 3 reminders, and then you're going to give us a mantra. You're going to say your mantra that you're sharing with all of us 3 times at the very end, something that's the core, that if we went around and said it all day long, it might help us chill out and experience the universe a little better. Okay, but 3 last, or 1 or 2 or 3 last reminders for us all first, and then a mantra. Sierra Bender, what do you got for us? What do we have to keep in mind again? What is this all about? What humans have it so rough? How can we let go a little?
Well, mine is where there's breath, there's consciousness. Where there's consciousness, there's love. So, as they say, count 10 seconds, where just take a deep breath. Just breathe. It is your bridge to your intuition. It's your bridge to spirit. It's a bridge to your body. It's a bridge to this earth. It's a bridge to your loved ones. Just breathe. And then the mantra to that follows.
And 3 times if you could for us, so people can really take it in and feel your vibe. You're sharing your vibe here, but with good boundaries. There we go.
My mantra is very simple. Breathe and receive. And may there be no friction or resistance within me. Breathe and receive. May there be no friction or resistance within me. Breathe and receive. May there be no friction or resistance within me. So when I'm breathing, that's what I'm letting go of, the friction and the resistance, the fear, whatever it is that's blocking you.
Sierra Bender in Santa Fe, New Mexico. You're amazing. Thank you for being a guest on the
Oh
show.
my God, Michael, thank you. It's always fun. Get to play.